Hey, we got a call-in show and 2 more games to go. It seems a bit weird that we'd still be here meeting like this. But alas, let's get it going. We are here. Welcome back to the Coaches Huddle. It's your boy, the coach, where the field meets family. And we got another call-in show. We're here. The link is pinned in the chat. Get in here. Use the link. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Are we road weary? Has the season beat us the hell up? Where do we stand? How do we feel about the team moving forward? Are we over the shock takes of the woe is me, fire Kyle, get rid of everybody? Has the dust settled, or are we still riled up because, quite frankly, the Lions, Lord Jesus, it's gonna get ugly on Monday. I ain't even gonna fake it. Monday night against the 13-2 Detroit Lions is going to be biblical. I'm telling you. And they may say that revenge is not motivating them in playing us Monday night. Cap! Flush that. They are not feeling us, bruh. They gonna put a mud hole in us. It's gonna be bad, man. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad, man. I'm telling you. So, if you want to get into the Detroit game, we got accustomed here on the call-in shows. I don't let you leave the call-in show without giving me a prediction. But if you don't want to give a prediction for the next game that we have versus the 13-2 Detroit Lions, who currently lead the NFC North, then hey, I get it. But right now, we just got to look forward. For me, I got to be honest. I haven't really been paying much attention to the season thus far. My biggest thing right now is I've been really looking at the draft, to be honest with you guys. Arizona, cool. Detroit, cool. We're going to see him, and it's going to be, whatever. We're going to be able to see rookies play. And there's a whole conversation for that, being able to see better guys play. We already have the entire left side of the offensive line is out. I don't know if us playing Brock Purdy is absolutely needed right now. Will we even be getting anything real as far as assessing him for, I don't know, a deal, whatever. I don't know if he's your franchise guy and you're even talking about putting him up for a contract. The least you could do is not put him in harm's way and give him a real offensive line. But speaking of offensive line, right now, the Niners currently sit with the 11th pick in the current 2025 NFL draft. And for me, I'm looking at O-lineman. Kelvin Banks Jr. seems to be one of the highest ranked tackles in the league right now out of Texas. I'll tell you this right now. I don't like his athleticism. He's 6'4", 320 pounds with a 5'3", 40. He's nimble. He's got good feet, but he doesn't necessarily generate a lot of power. He's a body thrower, meaning his own body. He's nasty. He is athletic. But for me, I just need a little bit more power. He doesn't play with enough strength, which means that we might as well just draft him because we don't like strong linemen. But Kelvin Banks Jr. is somebody who I want you guys to start giving a look at. Also, Wyatt Millam. He's another senior tackle coming out of West Virginia. This guy, 6'6", 5 flat 40, 317 pounds, strong hands, nasty. I tend to think that Wyatt's a little better than Kelvin. But Kelvin has the better resume. He's played better ball. But for me, that's what I'm going to start doing now. It's time for us to start kind of pitching in names, getting ready, getting ourselves familiarized with the Senior Bowl, the Shrine Bowl, the guys that, we can absolutely are game changers. Because, in the first round, you can't get a role player in the first round. But all I'm saying is you can't get a role player in the first round. You can't do it. What you have to do is you got to put yourself in a position where, you're getting somebody who's a game changer. Let me get to a super chat real quick, and then I'm going to get you up, Nafka. Dale, $10. Thank you. Talking a lot of Brock shit this year. My challenge to you is name 5 quarterbacks that would have salvaged this team this season exactly as they are. Not one of you negative Brock peeps are being honest. All right. So name 5 quarterbacks that would have salvaged this team this season exactly as they are. What do you mean? Like name 5 quarterbacks that would have came in and did a better job than Brock? The 5 best quarterbacks in the league would have did a better job than Brock. This is my thing. Brock, this is my thing about Brock, man. It's not the fact of whether or not he should get paid or not. He deserves to get paid. All right. The issue is that you guys can't get over the fact that you have not seen Brock will us to a victory. You have not seen Brock be the reason why we won. It's just the truth, man. I think Brock is a very good quarterback. Brock is a starter in today's league. No disrespect from me. Ain't no Brock disrespect over here. All right. He's a starter. Right. And that's good on Brock for being able to come in as the last pick. He was underdrafted. All right. If you really think about it, Brock should have been maybe a 2nd round pick or a 3rd round pick with exactly what he's doing in the league today. All right. But hey, man, he's a bridge quarterback. He's been in the league 3 years. We've seen the best of him. We've seen the worst of him. And then we also have seen him regress to the mean. My biggest thing with Brock is that you just got to be honest with the tools that Brock has, right? Not being able to get the ball to certain areas of the field when you need him to, So, look, this isn't a bash Brock session or a bash Brock show. I personally don't like talking about Brock because I know what lurks beneath the still water in that conversation, right? A whole lot of toxicity, a whole lot of, ad hominem attacks, a whole lot of personal stuff. So I don't really go there with Brock. I don't, right? Because I just feel like that's a very polarizing subject. But if you just want to talk about facts, I believe that me, along with anybody else who has eyes, can understand that Brock is a starting quarterback in the league, but he's not a plus athlete. He's not a franchise guy that you're going to pay 50 plus million for. You can't. And for what Brock brings, why would he want to make that much money? Because he's going to need players around him for him to be accentuated. We've seen what the best of what Brock does, and Brock does his best when he has pieces around him that he can utilize. And that's a lot. That's not a constellation prize. That is a skill. All right. To be able to have those guys around you and turn all of those guys on, activate all of those guys' skills. All right. So that's a very good talent that Brock has. All right. But it ain't $60 million a year. That ain't worth that. So look, Dale, I know I just say, and forgive me, Dale, I kind of put your super chat as kind of like the sacrificial lamb of this take. So I'm sorry, Dale. You kind of got thrown under the bus with this one. But honestly, bro, I just feel as though that, the quarterback conversation is one that is multifaceted when it comes to the organization, how they feel about him being the face of the team, the face of the franchise, then how the team feels about him, right? The real team feels about Brock. All right. Understanding how that goes off, where it's like, yeah, you're our leader. You're our leader as long as you speak the right tone, know who you are, be where your feet are. But as soon as you start getting in over your head, talking a little bit bigger than you truly are, that's when you throw people off. I believe that there's a world where if Brock pushed for $60 million, that would turn people off in the locker room. I think that part of Brock's leadership skill is that he's the common man, that he can reach you. All right. And I think that if Brock went for $60 million, the scrutiny and the leeway and the grace, if you will, that Brock gets from certain players because they understand, hey, man, this dude was the last pick in the draft. He's saving us. All of that out the window. When you put in more money in your bag than I can put in mine, and your kids get to go to a better school than my kids because you want $60 million a year, then you got to do your job. And I don't think that that's a conversation I think that's a conversation or a narrative that Brock is very keen to. I really believe that, honestly, the conversations about Brock getting paid really only reside here, like in YouTube and on social media. Truthfully, I honestly believe that in the real world, there is a very contextualized conversation between Brock, the organization, and his representation where it's like, look, bro, not only do you want to get paid, but you do want to be the leader, right? You want to lead, right? So there's a way that you get paid your money and how much you take that could really throw some people off. So, hey, I'm going to get Nafka up here, then I'm going to get Nick up. What up?
Broccoli. What's up, Coach?
Hey, what's up, baby? How you doing, man?
Man, it's been a minute, man. I'm good. Glad to see you, man. You know, I've been waiting for this call in. I can't believe that last. I had a whole nother script to talk about, but that last person with the super chat. Are you kidding me? Josh Allen right now does not have the offensive weapons that Broccoli has. Are you kidding me? They don't have a Fred Warner on defense. Are you kidding me? Like, come on, man. Are we watching or are we just looking up stats, man? Because I feel like this is some, I love my 49er family, but some of y'all, it's like my real family. Y'all are out there.
Look. Stats tell lies and liars tell stats.
Hello.
You know what I mean? Like, I really believe that, man. Like, the truth is simple. And you ain't got to pull out your abacus and your projector and, all of your Excel sheets and, pi is the square root of the derivative of, the efficiency of how his arm angles when he throws on the third down. It's right. Like, you ain't got to do all that bullshit, bro. It's like, man, look at the kid, watch him play, and you can't make a hasty decision on him. And you know what? To take it one step further, CJ Stroud.
Hello.
He's on the inverse of that conversation. Right. Because even me was kind of stamping CJ like, man, Stroud the truth.
I did last year. Hey, I got him in my fantasy.
I was that guy.
He cost me I'm in the championship, but I benched him.
I was that guy. Look, man. You can't. This is all sports takes, man. Like, come on, man. We ain't got the polygraph hooked up to us. You could be honest. I was one of those guys where when CJ Stroud first hit the league, I was saying, dog, he won it once.
Yep.
And look at where we are now, because you need to see proof of concept. You got to see a body of work, and doing it in one season, or doing it in 10 games, doing it in 8 games. It ain't enough.
But
it ain't enough.
But I got to give you a little pushback, because when it comes to CJ, though, he's actually been sacked a lot more than Broccoli, which blows my mind. I'm befuddled because we have a shitty offensive line. I'm sorry, some people don't want to say it, but our offensive line outside of Pooney and Trent Williams has been mid. You know what I mean? And that's giving them some love. They're mid, but truthfully, our offensive line needs to get upgraded 100% during the offseason. But CJ Stroud, he can throw the ball deep. Imagine the players that we have with CJ Stroud's arm. That was another reason why I call him Broccoli. Not only can he not go deep, but he leads his receivers into a position where they get hurt. I don't know if you remember about a month ago, Jennings was going across the middle. He let the ball so far in front of him that Jennings got hurt. He took his helmet off and slammed it on the floor. All right. Everybody seems to be getting hurt, especially our wideouts, because of how Broccoli plays. Facts. This is no cap. So it's weird. And another question I have for you can answer this. Is Broccoli worth having to pay him 60 millions if that hinders you getting role players, pieces that can truly help? Because that's the real question, right? Is the quarterback enough to save us to where we don't have to go get extra defensive linemen for depth? We don't have to get extra offensive linemen or a star stud, right, at on the offensive line. He's not that guy. He's not a Josh Allen. So, what do you think? Like, would you actually invest so much into him that you lose out on all these other key players?
Hell no. Hell no. I can answer that one. I can answer that one quick. Hell no. My biggest thing right now is that I love a good football team. And what I mean by that is coached well, schemed up, disciplined, players at every position because you did it the right way. Every guy isn't going to be an apex predator, but you also got to develop your guys. You know, I used to be proud of our roster. You know what I mean? Not just we're good, but
we have some dogs. Yeah,
I'm proud.
We have some dogs.
Come on, man. Who finds linebackers like us, right?
Nobody.
Who goes and gets an Emmanuel Mosley like us? Like, come on, man. And for me, we've lost a little bit of that because I'm very happy about what we've done with the rookies this year. We found a way to get 3 starters on the field, which is amazing, in my opinion. But my biggest issue right now is that we've got to build the entire team back again. The offensive line underperforming. Defensive line, especially in the interior, underperforming. I never thought I'd say this. Linebackers underperforming. You look at the running backs. We have 2 guys hurt that we're trying to get back. We got a rookie that's pacing himself through that's hurt his damn self, and we still are trying to look for more guys. So I mean, for me, I just feel like we need to retool, and let me put it like this. A rising tide rises all ships, man. Rises all boats. And what I mean by that is we need to get foundational players that help everybody. And you know what the best bang for your buck players are to get on a team if you really want your team to be elevated?
What's
linemen.
Yes.
Linemen.
I mean, the battle is in the trenches.
Dog. Linemen, offensive linemen make the offense so much easier to do. It not only does it make everybody else's job easier, it makes Kyle's job easier. Okay,
yes.
We don't have to use Debo as that's why you use the offensive line, because when you spam the offensive line, guess what you're spamming? 5 guys, not just one. You see what I'm saying? So when you get a Debo Samuel or a Christian McCaffrey and all you're doing is running with them, then you're killing yourself. You need to be able to control the line of scrimmage. Fast teams get slowed down by good offensive lines. Bad teams interiorly get exposed by good offensive lines. Teams that are not in shape get exposed by good offensive lines. Injuries to skill players on the offense are less of a toll if you have a good offensive line. All right? You got to get the trenches straight. That, and quite frankly, we've been a winning franchise before Kyle got here. I'm tired of people letting him hold the currency or the license on our elite organization. We were elite before Kyle. Let me say that again. We were elite before Kyle. Okay?
Yeah. 100%.
And when we were elite, what did we have? Offensive linemen. Okay? Michael Potty, Joe Staley. Come on, man.
That's a legend. Staley?
Antonio Brown. Come on, man.
Man.
Linemen. I know it ain't sexy. It's something that you can't put on. Look, you can't put a slogan around it. All right? But you got to get this offensive line together. Jake Brindle wearing a San Francisco 49ers uniform. Come on, man. I'm on that
Brindle,
level.
Banks, Brindle, Banks. I mean, come on. The list goes on. McKivitz. I'm sorry. Some people are holding on to these individuals for reasons I have no idea. Like you said, the battles in the trenches. If we do not upgrade these linemen, then we're going to have next year where he's going to continue, because we know it, even though we keep telling them stop using Debo. Stop. I'm tired of seeing, I said it week 5. I don't want to see Debo running out of the backfield. Right, you are trying to get, if you, this is the crazy thing, right? What I don't understand about Kyle, because he loves Debo so much, but he's going to put him in situations where, as he's getting older, the less hits would be better. But he puts him in positions where he's going to get attacked, where he's going to get targeted. Then what are you going to do, Kyle? Like if that is your main guy that you want to go to, and you put him in positions where the average is going to go up on him being injured and not playing, then what do you have? Is there a plan B? And plan B, though, it doesn't. He's never used a plan B. You know what I mean? He might have multiple kids out there. I don't know, but he never.
Yeah.
He never used. I'm just saying, like, this is crazy to me, and we all need to stop being on Brock and Kyle's so hard, because these two individuals, when the Ravens won, right? I'm taking y'all back a little bit. When the Ravens won, they had Trent Dilfer. Nobody ever said, "Oh, we're gonna pay Trent Dilfer $60 million." No, you don't need a quarterback like that. But if you're gonna pay a quarterback like that, then he's gotta be like that. You know what I mean? It's no two ways around it. So we need to figure out what Kyle Shanahan is doing as far as GM, or is he trying to be the head coach? If you're gonna be the head coach, be the head coach. And then our quarterback situation, if Brock don't step it up, I'm sorry, but I would let him go. I would look for somebody else, maybe get a veteran, and then a year or two figure out a quarterback situation. As long as you can get the offensive line and work on that defensive line, which I would actually go for a corner.
I hear the defensive line, but I'm sorry, bro. I know that the defensive line matters, but dog, come on, Mike Upati, Forrest Blue, Guy McIntyre, Randy Cross, Harris Barton, Kevin Gogan, Howard Mudd, Woody Peoples, Fred Quaylen, Jeremy Newberry, Alex Boone, Larry Allen, Derek Deese, Jonathan Goodwin, Ed Hinkie, Chilo Recall, Alex, dude.
Dogs.
We gotta get the trenches back, bro. It's in our DNA of who we are as a franchise. We get our offensive line. This is what we do. So it's time out, man. Jesse Supalo, come on, man.
Hey.
Come on.
Now I'm with you. We definitely got to. Remember, you had a tape. You had a tape where you broke down the offensive line and even showing the footwork, where the footwork was completely off. And I kept telling you, giving you your praises. Damn, the Niners need to hire you, because if we work on that offensive line, I guarantee you, Kyle Shanahan's offense will look a lot better. The red zone efficiency would look a lot better. The whole team would look a lot better if we had better offensive line. And I don't know what's going on with Trent. You know, is the team even thinking about that? You know, because he might not play next year. Something might happen because he's getting older. The older these individuals get, it's just really hard to actually think they're going to be playing for you. So if we're not game planning for their replacement, we're just going to be another year down the toilet.
Yeah. Hey, man, look, I'll tell you, man, I'm very keen on, physical football, and that's why I've always been proud of my franchises, because we're physical. And we have not been physical for years, and we've been masquerading as a physical team for quite a while. And it's time for us to get the trenches together on both sides of the ball, but particularly on offensive line. It really does take all of the calculus out of, Kyle and his best laid plans. When you got an offensive line, it almost forces Kyle to keep it stupid and keep it simple. You know what I'm saying? Like he really has to. When you got an offensive line like that, it forces Kyle's game plan and everybody in the room to say, all right, well, you do know you have to run the ball at least 25 times today. Well, what you got up front? You got to run the ball. So, look, we got to run the ball. I'd like to see, and to be honest, the same way, what the wide nine of the offense is? You know how we all want to change the wide nine? You know what the wide nine of our offense is? Outside zone. I'm tired of it. We need to scheme out of it. It's time to run power. It's time to run duo. We got to run some gap scheme. Like we got to be multifaceted. That doesn't mean to completely get rid of the outside zone, but what it does mean is that the outside zone is too curated for us to run it, where we got to get linemen that specifically can run it at all times. But when you can run multiple schemes, where you can run gap scheme, when you can run duo, when you can run body on body trap, right? When you can run that, man, do you know what type of backs you could get in that backfield? Where they all don't got to be a certain back. You can get it, man. It's time for us to really kind of like, I never thought I'd say this, but I think it's time for us to get thrusted into the 21st century. Like, I feel like we're outdated offensively. Green Bay's running attack was way better than ours. And they was running the same shit.
They got better players, though. Like you said.
But how they were getting to it, though.
No, what I'm saying is
it was way more creative than us.
Well, they got better players to be able to do certain things, right? So their offensive line is a lot smoother than ours. It's a fact. When you look at the tape, they don't make the same mental mistakes that you were breaking down in the videos. All of these teams, but it's like, honestly, maybe the team has just kind of checked out on Kyle. You know, you can see it. Some people are half-assing things that you've never really seen them do before. Because this is the same kind of offensive line we had last year. Like I feel like some people just checked out and they're like, they're thinking to themselves, is it really worth it? Is it really worth it to go full speed? I don't think their heart's in it.
Well, hey, look, man. Do I believe that let me ask you, because I do. You do a lot of deferring to me. Let me ask you, because I'm on to you.
Yeah, you the coach. I'm the player.
I'm on to you. So let me ask you. Do you believe that the Niners have put their best foot forward this season?
Hell no. Nah.
All right, okay. And now that was the easy question. Why? What have you seen?
I mean, I can only speculate, right? It's just my opinion, but I just think some people have checked out on Kyle, right? I really don't believe the whole team bought into Kyle this year. And from how they handle certain players, the players in the organization, they have this like connection with each other. And how they started seeing some of these star players get treated, they said, you know what? I don't know about this team this year. That's just me. And I could be totally 100% wrong. I just don't believe people have bought into Kyle, because how many times are you going to go to the Super Bowl? How many times are you going to go to the NFC Championship and you're just not cutting it? You know, after a while, people are going to have to ask themselves, damn, well, on paper, we have the team. We have the skill set. We dogs. But for some reason, in critical situations, we're doing things that doesn't make any damn sense. And after doing that numerous times, you're going to tell yourself, like, man, what the hell are we doing? I've already made millions. I got a family. I want to go to Bermuda. I want to do this. You know what I mean? Like, I don't blame people at the end of the day. So, yeah.
All right. So do you believe that them not putting the best foot forward this season, do you believe that you can lose a locker room and get it back as a coach?
So in the realms of all possibility, yes, it's possible. Is it plausible?
Who has done that?
Who has done that? No, it's not about who has done it.
No. I'm just hold on. All I'm asking you is this. I'm gonna ask you two questions. Is it possible for an NFL head coach to lose the locker room and get it back? And who has done it? That's all I'm gonna ask.
Damn. Okay, you're gonna make me go in my bag. Off the top of the head, man, I can't think of a coach that lost the locker room and then got it back. But is it possible? Yes. I just don't see it with Kyle. I don't see it with Kyle. Too many things. So, but to answer your questions. But what about you? Do you think it's possible?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
And has it ever been done before?
Somebody just said John Harbaugh. In what aspect? I love Alex to come in here.
When did he lose the locker?
It's Flacco to Lamar. I don't think he lost the locker room switching from Lamar to Flacco. I think that he stuck out there. Nick Sirianni Did he lose the locker room?
No. They never lost him because all the Eagle players kept coming out saying that's our coach. And at the time, they were like 4-2. So you're not really looking at your team because he's probably talking.
I don't think John Harbaugh ever lost it either. Now, hold on. Tom Coughlin.
Tom Coughlin with the Giants?
I think they kept winning, though. Tom Coughlin they hated his guts, but he kept winning.
I think we all hated him because he looked like the villain from Star Wars, but I don't think he ever lost his locker room. I don't think there's a coach that lost. Maybe Singletary for us. Maybe Singletary.
I would give Tom Coughlin this. Tom Coughlin this. Okay, so let me say this. At 8 years, this is the last question that I'm going to get Nick up. At 8 years in, do you believe that the Niners, is there a world where the organization can't let go of Kyle, or do you believe that they truly want him to be here? This is 8 years in. Are they afraid to go look for somebody else?
I wouldn't say they're afraid to go look at somebody else. I would say that there is some kind of stipulation, possibly. There's something going on with Kyle and the Yorks that we are just unbeknownst to us. Because, everybody, we've seen coaches get fired left and right. So I don't know why you would hold on to Kyle, but he must have something on them. Might be like a video alert I'm playing. But
yeah, he's stupid.
But yeah, before you let me go though, what is your predictions for this Monday, and how do you feel about Moody? Should we let him go? Not the kicker.
Dude,
not the kicker. Not the kicker.
Oh, Mooney Ward.
Yeah.
Mooney, in my opinion, Mooney's gonna walk. He's gonna go. We don't have enough money to sign him. But I don't. Yeah. I think he's gonna walk. And then we signed Demo. Ronaldo Green looks very good. I think they're gonna let him walk.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, I think Mooney's gonna walk.
And
what was your next question? Oh, for this one? Yeah. Oh man, this one, dude. It is what it is, dog. Hey, you already know the deal, dog. This one's gonna be nasty.
You know what? I think there's a possibility it could be a low-scoring game, and that's the only way we win. It's possible. No, I'm saying, look, if we win, because I'm always thinking there's a chance we can win, right? Got to play devil's advocate because most people saying negative. I'm gonna go positive. So I think if the chances for us, it's possible, right? Is it plausible? But it's possible. If we can keep it a low-scoring game, I feel like we could possibly come out on top. But most chances are we're going to get blown out. It's going to be a barn burner. But I'm just saying there's a possibility. Plus, I got Isaac in the championship in my fantasy. I need him to ball out, dog. So.
Oh, nah, bro. Hey, I'm going to tell you this right now, man. Ain't no way. No way, Jose. This one's gonna be bad. This is a team. They're 13-2. One of the best teams in the league. It's gonna be. They're gonna play us. It's gonna be crazy, man. Like it's gonna be bad. I'm gonna tell you.
All right. We'll see. Man, I'm gonna tune into because you're gonna do the game.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the live watch show party. We're gonna get it all in, man. But hey, bro,
sure.
Get at me, man. Love the call, man. Call back again.
I always love being on your show. Have a great day.
All right, bro. All right, Nick, I'm about to get you up in a little bit. Let's get some super chats out the way real quick. Ryu Ken, coach, how big were you in your playing days? Arm lengths, 38-inch arms, 6'3", 330. Center. That's my playing number. 6'3", 330, 38-inch arms, center. Them long arms, man. You got to point out that mic. Get all the way up here. Them 38-inch arms. So yeah. Bill Kennedy, 199. Thank you. Why is someone as important as Fred Warner playing? I mean, you could ask the same question about Brock Purdy. He's important. You could have asked the same question about Dre Greenlaw after he played his first game. He's important. Bill, I'm going to tell you, I guess the common denominator of what I'm trying to get to is that Kyle has no feel. He's just going to play him. Now, I think Fred is a little bit of a different case because he is a leader. You know, he's the tip of the spear. He's the leader of the defense. So I could see Fred wanting to play and that being a player decision. But, as far as saving guys, pacing them out, keeping them on a pitch count, giving them reps, all the things that I've been talking about all season. I talked about this with Christian McCaffrey. I got blasted on Twitter for it. I talked about this with Dre Greenlaw. 1 week. I mean, no, what was that? That was 1 week before he got hurt, maybe 2 to 3 days after we saw him play. Got blasted for it. Oh, Conehead. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Who the hell is this guy? Burn him. I talked about this. Quiet as kept. Jordan Mason should not be hurt. But he got sat down for 3 weeks and he got thrown into a blizzard to play right away. So, Bill, you are not asking the wrong questions. I just wish I had answers for you. Dale, $5. Thank you, Dale. Story of 2024 Niners is I'm getting mine before you get yours. That's just what it is. We have looked flat every damn game. The 1099ers, man. The 1099ers, bro. Individual contractors. Independent contractors. Manhattan John, 1999. Thank you. Trade Kyle, Purdy, and Debo as an amazing offensive starter kit to Cleveland for Myles Garrett and their best DB. Hire Brian Flores and become a defensive powerhouse while we look for a franchise QB of the future. Happy New Year, Coach. Thank you so much, John. Hey, look. I like the fact that Brian Flores was not in on Tua. He was not. That's probably one of the reasons why he got let go. I love Brian Flores' defense. I love his defensive mind. You see what Brian Flores does to us every time we face him. One of the youngest, most talented minds in the league today. I'd love to see Brian Flores here, but also in today's league, if you're going to have a defensive coach, you got to have, I'll be interested to see who would be our GM, because you got to have an offensive-minded GM. You got to have somebody else in there, and I would be interested to see who he brings in as an OC, because defensive guys kind of like OCs to be boring. We need, a guy that is like a dynamic guy. So we'll see. Bill Kennedy, thank you. Kyle needs to stop vacationing with players. I think that's almost over. If anybody's been in a corporate structure, you know what? Let me stop, because I was about to gatekeep. If anybody's been working before, you don't even need a corporate structure. If anybody's been working before, everybody has worked with that boss who wants to be cool with everybody and be a boss at the same time. And we all know that it turns into a shit show. We all know this. It happens every time we see it. The boss that wants to be too cool for school, that can't stay in this damn office, that wants to hang around the water cooler, that wants to go to the after hour parties, that wants to go to happy hour with everybody, that wants to be in on everything. It's just like, bro, you make more than all of us, bro. You can't be cool. You can't have it both. You can't have it both ways, bro. You can't get to tell us what to do and get to be in on the cool. No, bro. So it's incredibly weird. It's a little bit sad, to be honest with you. I see it as like, it's very lame, to be real with you. Why are you hanging out with your players, bro? But anyway, I hope that it stopped. Travis Stewart, my guy. Dang, I'm late to the show. Working. Shaking my head. Hey, man, keep doing your thing, bro. We're here for you, Trav. Dave Barclay, 199. What's up, Coach? Keep doing your thing. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Hey, Nick.
What's up, Coach?
My guy.
What's going on?
Let's go, man. How have you been, bro?
Good. How are you?
Great, man. What you got for me, man? We can take this any direction you want to, man.
I got a couple things. So
let's go.
When you guys were talking about the Kyle thing, what really dawned on me was one of the things I used to think about Kyle, which he was really, really successful at, was building coaching staffs. And I think you would agree with that. I think that's one of his better philosophies, as getting as many good coaches in here. I just feel with how long they've been going into the playoffs and late season runs, I feel like he's always been left with the scraps. And then he'd obviously lose guys in the process of getting hired because you were just on the Super Bowl team and all that stuff. So I think this year would be a good reset for him in getting a crack at the top special teams coordinators this offseason, the top defensive guys, just changing his coaching staff in full swing, in my opinion.
Well, I got something for you, buddy.
Let's hear it.
I don't think Kyle is good at putting together good coaching staffs. I believe that Kyle is good at plucking from the tree of a system that was here before him. And I think that Kyle got a stimulus package in 2017 from his father, and there was a lot of calls put in. Also, don't get it twisted. People also came on this coaching staff because John Lynch was here too, not just Kyle.
Oh, yeah, true.
Okay, that's a big misconception that people don't think that John Lynch has drawing power. John Lynch has tons of drawing power. All
Absolutely.
right. So there are a lot of coaches that came here because they also knew that they would be protected by a football man that was going to be in the office. Right. Okay. So that's something as well. Two, I got an analogy for you, man. Remember we were in school and there was the rich kid who was kind of a dick, but but his parents were never home. Mm-hmm. And it was like, all right, dude, so we got to go. It's like, why are we going with Josh? Why has Josh got to come with us? It's like, dude, he's the only one with a house. He's the only one. Like, my peoples ain't having it. You know what I'm saying? We damn sure can't go over your house. So, hey, man, we got to be cool with Josh. We got to be cool with Kyle, man.
He's the party house.
He's the party house, bruh. He's the flop house. If we're going to skip school, where else are we going to go? We got to go over Josh's house. So, yes, we'll put up with his stupid jokes and the fact that he gets really weird when he gets drunk and he doesn't necessarily tell the truth all the time and he's a little bit of a spaz.
But he's got the pretty girls at the house, which is like, then I meet Mike McDaniel meets the Dolphins and D'Amico Ryan.
Thank you, because he's the energy. He's the energy. So it's like on the low, shorties that I kind of talk to hang out with this dude. And I got to kind of be in the orbit of putting up with this dude. And for me, that's how I see Kyle. I really do. That's how I see his coaching staff. I believe that there's a lot of people that saw upward mobility and said to themselves that not just Kyle, but the 49ers, bro, I'm about to go to the Niners, man. We're going to be good. We got Kyle in here. He's going to delegate, but there's a lot of bright minds in the room. Why wouldn't I want to be on this staff? Why wouldn't I come here and put my best foot forward? I'll give these guys 2 to 3 years, go to a Super Bowl, possibly win, and I'm off and on to the next one, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, because for me, Kyle, you show a skill when you're able to do it with availability, right? Where, hey, do it again. Right. Do it again. Go do it again. I know how to.
That's actually a good point too, because then you have guys on the staff like Bobby Turner, who's just loyal to the Shanahan name. Has nothing to do with
has nothing to do with Kyle. You know what I'm saying? My thing is
he's I don't want to coach any other guy. He knows the system. He's gonna implement the system that I know the best. Why am I gonna make it harder on myself? I'm just gonna go and keep being loyal.
My biggest thing is that it's all right. If Kyle is great enough, if you want to give him credit for all of the coaches, cool, let's do that. That means that Kyle is good enough in by everybody else's standard to not only pick great coordinators, but to get great position coaches who themselves turn into coordinators. All right. We've seen that in one instance. Why hasn't he done it again?
Fair.
Right?
It's fair. Yeah, it's fair. It's
right?
Fair.
If you and almost it to the chagrin, he hired Wilkes as a constellation prize. All right, man, I guess we'll get Wilkes on here. And Wilkes turned out to be a good guy.
Yeah.
And that wasn't even
Wilkes got a lot of slack for no reason. I mean,
come on, man.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, he had some boneheaded calls, but we can go around the league and pluck from every team. They'd be like, yeah, this defense coordinator did this play on this down. And don't get me wrong. Wilkes wasn't the best, but look where we are now compared to where we were with him.
Come on. And but think about it. What we were comparing Wilkes to was literally the best.
Yeah.
So there's that too.
I guess I'm overthinking it too. Cause how many teams over years get 2 D'Amico Ryans as their defensive coordinator? It's kind of finding a diamond in the rough with that stuff.
Back to back. Come on, son. And then really there's coaches on this staff who, quite frankly, if Kyle was so good at bringing coaches around, then how come a guy like Bill Schneider is still surviving on this coaching staff?
Yeah, no, that one you
Like,
got me there. I can't even defend
you know what
that.
I'm saying? Like, if
Yeah.
Kyle is so good at coaching staffs, then where's the development of the receivers? I mean, what has Leonard Hankerson been doing? Let's
Yeah, I
talk
think
about it. All
and
right. We're talking
yeah.
about, we're so good at coaching. It's like, how come we can't get anything out of any tight end outside of George Kittle?
And if we're talking about coaching staff, one of the funniest things, because maybe you would disagree with me, but I think one of our better coaches is Chris Forrester, and he gets the least
Yes.
amount of talent to work with.
That's why he's one of the best coaches that we have.
But I'm just saying, like,
Right.
you would
But all
think
of
in a
these other
meeting room,
dudes,
you would think in a
yeah.
meeting room, you'd be like, all right, let's get the best coach, the best talent, and there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Which, like you kind of said on the last call about the offensive line, that's where I kind of want to go next with the draft. So if we
Right.
stay at like 10 or 11, I'm with you on O line. Don't get me wrong, I'm with you. But do you also think that they can just go best player available? Whether that's like Mason Graham, the defensive tackle, or the edge rusher Carter from Penn State, like what you would just be O line regardless, right? At that
I'd
pick.
go best available. I'd go best. Listen, unless they got big, big plans at quarterback, and somebody falls into their lap and they just can't say no because quarterback is like one of those. Hey,
Well, I
throw
thought that's
everything
what
out.
Kyle was thinking with Drew Aller because I watched that Oregon Penn State game with Drew Aller, and I'm like, who is this? Why haven't you played like
Drew
this all
Aller's
year?
nice.
Like,
Drew Aller's nice.
and like to me, like obviously he's staying in college, so he's coming out next year. But you know, when he didn't declare to go back to school, I was thinking like, what if he just is there? Like, how do you not take that with all this talent? Unfortunately, like Brock, you're a nice player. Don't get me wrong, but that's the type of guy that we wanted and still want, regardless of what any 49er fan says. You want a guy at the top 5 quarterback that you have no problem paying money to with whatever the amount of money is. We pay Brock 60 million. We're on the hook like we're like the Dolphins.
Oh, dude, we're screwed, dude. If
That's
we
it.
pay Brock Purdy $60 million, dude, like the winter is coming, bro. Like, come on, man. Game of Thrones, dude. It's over. It's gonna be a bad like 6 years, bro. It's gonna be bad.
And then you're either gonna have to get like a Sean Payton, like which coaches like that don't grow on trees, where he's just like, yeah, I'm coming in, I'm gonna cut the quarterback or trade him, and we're just gonna be in cap hell for a few years, but I'm gonna still make the playoffs. There's not a lot of coaches that are willing to take on Brock Purdy's contract at 60 million. You're not gonna get the best candidates.
Dude, if we do, yeah, exactly. Like my thing is like we really got to rip the Band-Aid off. In my opinion, the signifier of that would be well, let me answer your question first, because I didn't answer your question. I would go best player available as long as they were on the trenches. All right.
We're in
So
agreement, yeah.
best player available, offensive line, defensive line in the first round. If you don't see anything that you like at quarterback, because that's where you would go get your guy,
Right.
then best player available. I want the best tackle, the best D tackle, the best edge rusher. I want the best left or right tackle. I want the best guard, whatever. But I want
Would
the
you think
best
about
player
taking a
available in the
corner there?
trenches. Huh?
Would you think about taking the kid Will Johnson, the corner from Michigan?
No,
No, I wouldn't either. I was just saying like that's another.
no.
Yeah.
We got money wrapped up in there. Honestly, like look at it this way. Nick. Look how much just Dominic Pooney has helped everybody.
Yeah.
Just one guy.
One guy. Yeah.
One guy. Look how much he has helped everybody. When he has a bad game, the whole thing falls apart. That's another thing that I've noticed. But look, we got to get our trenches back. Because
100%.
slowly but surely, other teams, while we were touting all of the names, remember his canned reaction or his canned response for the 49ers, like why they don't win or what they're doing. Anything that had any question that was alluding to, are the 49ers going to win the Super Bowl? Why haven't they won one? And what's their response for losing the last season? His canned response used to be a roster of all the names on the team. Remember he used to do that?
He used to say, well, Deebo Samuel's a pretty good football player, and Fred Warner's a pretty good football player. Oh, and Nick Bosa's a pretty good football player. Like,
He's always when you have a Deebo Samuel, you have a Brandon Ayuk, and when you have a Trent Wilson, Williams, when you have a Christian McCaffrey, when you have a Dre Greenlaw, and you're just like, when's the last time you've ever heard Fred? I mean, when's the last time you ever heard George go through his rundown? He hasn't done it in a while.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. Yeah, I mean, Essentially, I also think this year was a good reality check for these boys. Like, because I think they were a little complacent with the way they were going about their business. And
Mm,
that's not even the players, that's the coaching staff. I think that's the organization as a whole, where they keep thinking that they can get by giving these extensions the
mm.
week before the season, and thinking that, like, yeah, they'll be fine. But like, it wasn't fine. It has been fine for the last couple of years you've been doing it. Like that's why when they signed Lenore, I was kind of like, is this like a meme on my phone? Like, did I get like a bad alert or something? Because I never thought they would sign a guy like Lenore in season. Wasn't that a surprise to you that they got it done so quick?
No, not really.
Oh, okay.
The reason why it wasn't a surprise to me is because we didn't hear anything about it. And I think that progress is made when, quite frankly, for lack of a better term, when people shut the fuck up.
And just let the agents and the front office do.
Yeah, like when you just shut up. And the only reason why Nick's deal took so long is because Nick was waiting for other players to get signed
And
so he
also
could.
at the time too, Nick had them over a barrel. So it's
Yeah,
kind
oh
of like
yeah. It wasn't about.
yeah.
Yeah, it
It was
wasn't a
like
matter of if. It was just when.
Yeah, it was never like, oh, Nick Bosa's being stubborn. It's just like, well, you guys are just gonna pay me what the market is, like, because that's the type of player he was at that time. It's like the market's the market. Like, we're not going back and forth. If you guys want to come correct, I'll sign it. But if you don't, it's gonna be a lengthy negotiation process.
Exactly.
That's really what he was on. But
Yeah.
and I think Trent too. Like, as much as I love Trent, like him thinking at 36 years old that he didn't need training camp, because that's what it really was. It's not that they probably couldn't get the deal done soon. It's that
Okay.
Trent was like, I don't want to be at training camp, dude. Like, I don't want to do it anymore. Which is a problem. If that's how you feel, if you
Ah.
don't like the process, you should stop playing.
All right. So this is my issue with that. If that's really what it was, then I think Trent would have just told Kyle, and then he would have just been there in shorts and t-shirts the whole camp. If that's really
Okay.
what it was,
No, that's a fair argument.
because Kyle has already shown that he will give Trent vet days and sit Trent down and
A
pace him
lot
out.
of days too.
A
That is a
lot
fair
of
point. Yeah,
days,
that is a fair
exactly.
point.
So
Even with CMC 2 years ago, how many times did CMC really practice in training camp?
not much at all,
Right.
right? So
No, that's a good point. That's a fair point. Yeah.
but I really do believe that it was about the money. I think
Okay.
that Trent saw that he was coming up he was in the middle of his deal, and Trent
Yeah,
basically
I don't think he
snatched.
had any more guaranteed money on the deal. That's
He
why it was
rug
a big
pulled
deal.
us.
Yeah,
He rug
exactly.
pulled us. Like basically said, nah, I want my money. And it's just like, what? Now? Yeah.
Yeah.
Now. And I think the biggest thing that they did, which kills me, God, this pisses me off. How did we not get a tackle in last year's draft? Do you see
I think
Rosengarten?
I
Like, come
did,
on.
did you tweet that out? I think I saw it on your page when
Yes.
you quote tweeted it when he like destroyed TJ Watt on like that gap scheme.
Yes. Like Rosengarten, bro. Look at all of the tackle. Look at this, Zach Frazier.
Yeah.
Like, how did we not at least do something on the offensive
Like,
line?
coach, could you imagine with instead of the Pearsall pick, they took Zach Frazier, and then you would have had Zach Frazier, Pooney, McKivitz, Banks, or no, and then Williams. But now you would have had the same season you had, but now you can go add like a Calvin Banks, and now you have Frazier, Pooney, Banks, Trent Williams, and a question mark at left guard.
Come on, man.
That's it.
Like, they don't,
Like, look
I
what the
don't
Chiefs did that year.
understand.
The Chiefs lost that Super Bowl last year. They went out and they got Creed Humphrey, top 2 center in the league. They signed Joe Thuney, and they drafted that kid, they drafted Jawan Smith or whatever his name is.
Yeah,
They fixed their
that
O-line in one
guard.
offseason. Yeah, the guard.
Yeah,
They
the
fixed their
guard. And that kid's nasty.
Yeah, he's great. But I'm saying, my point is, though, like, fix it. It could be done in one offseason if you do it correctly. It's possible.
Offensive line can be worked on, bro.
Yeah.
It's very feasible. And I think that's why they don't respect it, because I do believe that they understand that there's really not that big of a lift. You know, you get a couple of guys, we all sitting here talking about like, oh, Trent's a Hall of Famer and what will we, you know what I really don't like? It really grinds my gears when we start like mythicizing these guys, like turning them into like superheroes as if we will never ever find anyone else to play the position outside of him.
It's
I
like,
got
guys,
news for you, man.
We did have Joe Staley before Trent Williams.
Come on.
It's okay. It's okay, guys.
We had Joe before Trent. And to be honest with you, How many first team all NFL first team did Trent Williams make before he got here? How
I
many did
think
he make in Washington?
I think maybe one or two, maybe. I think.
None.
Oh, none. Wow.
None. He didn't even
Wow.
make first team in Washington. All of the stats, it happened here. It's been built here. So, like, let's stop this, man. Like, acting like, and for what it's worth, Jalen Moore was doing fine before he got
was
hurt.
playing really well. I was
He
really
was not
shocked.
doing that bad. He wasn't perfect, but he was in a shit show.
But every time he started, though, I wasn't on my TV screen like, oh, there's Jalen Moore again. If I didn't notice him, that's a plus in my category with him. Because
Come on,
usually you
man.
see him getting beat off the line, tons of times. But my last thing is also like what happened to why is like I understand the contract negotiations with Brock and everything, but like he does have 1 year left on his deal. Like the Niners could just be like, shut up and play football. Like we're
I think
not
that's
talking.
what they're going to do.
I think that's what they're gonna do too. I don't
Yeah.
and one thing that I think we can appreciate about the Niners is that they take a while to give out money, but they also play hardball negotiations. Like I truly believe Kyle, John, Parag, Jed are gonna be like, dude, like we just watched you for a full year not be able to carry a team that was average when you want $60 million. And the biggest problem is for them is that if I was his agent, I'd be like, guys, they paid Trevor Lawrence $55 million. Two is making, and like Brock's looking there like I'm better than Trevor. Like how can you not say that if you're his agent? That's why I think the quarterback market is just completely messed up. And I think the Niners are the team to like set the NFL straight and saying, Brock, here's a Baker Mayfield deal. If you don't want to take it, you're playing this year out, and then, or if you're not going to play, we'll just trade you during the draft, and we'll go from there. It is what it is. I think the
Bro.
Niners would be willing to do something like that.
Hell yeah, bro. Like, look, man, the Baker Mayfield deal is more than fair, right?
And it's going to be fully guaranteed. It's not like they're going to give him like 65 guaranteed. It's going to be 100 million guaranteed. So it's and Brock, you're on one of the most famous sports organizations in America. You're gonna be fine off the field, brother. Trust me. You're already making all this money off the field. Like you'll be okay.
So check this out. Here go a couple of deals that I would be just fine with. Okay. All right. Of course, the Baker Mayfield deal, which was 3 years, 100 million, which was 3 years, 100 million, 50 million guaranteed, 33.3 a year. Right. Now for inflation, I wouldn't mind paying Brock a little more than 33 a year. All right.
What about the Kirk Cousins deal? I think that was 4 for 120, I believe. I think
okay. Check me out. The Geno Smith deal. 3 years, 75 million, 40 million guaranteed, 25 million a year. I don't think we would go that low on Brock. That's kind of embarrassing.
That's kind of disrespectful. Like
it's kind of disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't mind Brock hitting that fringe 35 to 40. Like,
not to interrupt you, Coach, but
go.
But the kicker, in my opinion, is if you want to get one of those deals across the goal line, you'll just tell Brock, you're gonna take the Baker Mayfield contract or the Kirk Cousins, but Brock, that'll be fully guaranteed. We're not gonna hit you at 50 guaranteed. It'll be fully guaranteed at 3 years, 100 million. You know what I'm saying?
I think he'd take that. He'd be a fool not to take that. Take that deal.
100 million guaranteed. Like I know it's not the years or the 200 million you wanted, but you're getting 100 million guaranteed. Like that's good enough for what you put on display for a season, basically. Like he was good two years ago, average this year or a little below average, and then obviously his rookie year 6 games is kind of a tough sample size to judge because he came in when the team was rolling, so it kind of was a little tough to judge. But yeah, I would do that contract right now if he wanted to sign it. 3 years, 100 million. There you go.
I wouldn't be mad at that at all. And I really do believe that it's going to be something a little more practical. It's going to be just like that. I do believe that one of the things that I've kind of gotten used to about the NFL, especially when it gets close to like the offseason, is that they ramp up every take or possibility to the extreme, and then they whittle it down as the truth starts coming out, and then it finally regresses to the mean. And it's like, 3 years, 100 million did sound good 8 months ago before we argued about this all summer. You know what I'm saying? So
Coach,
I do believe.
Last thing, one more question.
Go ahead.
Would you trade Kyle?
No.
Because I saw because you probably saw it all over Twitter and X and all that stuff. The whole Kyle to the Chicago Bears.
Yeah. No,
Kyle's
I would not trade Kyle.
Kyle is never working for Kevin Warren to begin with. If you know Kyle Shanahan, never.
That's one. Two, Kyle wouldn't allow his cat that Kyle wouldn't want that on his jacket.
No.
On his resume. He would not want on his jacket that he got shipped like cattle. Kyle's not that type of guy. That's two. And three, Kyle would actually have to agree to it. That's another reason why I don't think that it would go down. Four, I want Kyle's ass right here. You signed all these dudes. You ran upstairs and made sure that Brandon Ayuk got paid. Yeah, you enabled Debo. Stay your ass right here. You know what else you better be a genius at? Cleaning up your goddamn mess. How about that? You know how to scheme up some plays? How about you scheme up a draft? Because you're gonna need it.
Or how about you scheme up some cap space in the next couple of years?
Yeah, exactly. So, hey man, Nick, we gotta talk, man. Hit me on hit my DM on Twitter.
I'm actually gonna start my own channel. That's what I've been working on the past couple of months. So
yeah,
I'll DM you on Twitter.
X, hit me up. We're gonna talk, bro.
Yeah,
we're gonna talk.
The Lions prediction. I don't know. Did you see Dan Campbell's post pregame or
talk to me about it? What'd he say?
He basically said, because the thing was like, this game really doesn't matter for them. It's really that Week 18 game against the Vikings, really. Mm-hmm. So they were like, are you going to bench certain guys? And he goes, basically, what I got out of it was like, guys, we're going to be putting belt to ass to the Niners all night.
It's going to be belt to ass.
52-7. That's the score prediction.
Dog, I'm going to tell you this right now. That joint.
Coach, belt to ass. Dan Campbell's coming for that. Belt to ass.
Dog, them motherfuckers gonna come into Santa Clara like SEAL Team 6. They fucking everything up, man. Everything. They putting their dick in the punch bowl. Yeah. They fucking everything up, man. They fucking everything up. I'm telling you.
No crumbs on that plate. That
it's over. Yeah. It's over. Right.
So, Coach, Happy New Year. We'll talk soon, brother.
I get at you, boss. PDX, what's good, bro?
Man?
Talk to me. How you been, brother?
I've been good. Been busy. Living life.
Yeah.
Just comment on the Zach Frazier thing, just as a side before I detail my free agency and draft plans. You know how many centers out of 16 that have been taken in the first round that have been a bust?
How many?
Just one.
Which center?
I don't know. I don't know the actual center off the top of my head, but they don't bust in the first round. Centers almost never bust as first round picks. Think of Tyler Linderbaum or who's Nick Mangold, the Jet center. They never bust.
Nick Mangold was a dog, god of all dogs. I mean, come on, man. Nick Mangold he's like the blueprint.
Yeah. I mean, look at Tyler Linderbaum. He's good. He's one of the best in the NFL already, even in his rookie year. So
hell yeah.
Travesty. But here's what I think we should do in free agency. I think we should.
Was Ryan Kelly drafted in the first round?
I believe so.
From Bama?
Yeah, I believe so. And then there was the guy that the Cowboys drafted. I can't think of his name, but everybody thought
Zach Martin? Not Zach Martin.
No, not Zach Martin. Travis Frederick.
Yes.
Travis Frederick. And everybody thought he was a reach. He was like a fringe first round pick, and he was.
They picked him up at 31.
Yep.
Okay.
Where we should have picked Zach Frazier.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
It's the only sure hit position in the draft is center. It's wild. You can't mess it up.
Yo. Yo, get off of my channel spreading discourse, Mr. Naylor. Good Lord. It's a child show. Putting that filth in my chat. So, look, man, how do you feel about the season thus far? What are our next best moves?
Season's trash, man. After you and Jesse were talking about training camp and the low energy, I went from this is gonna be a down year because it's a down year to it's not good. Mm-hmm. Not good. The low energy is a bad sign. Bad sign.
Yeah. I mean, we saw it from day one. And it wasn't, and I'm glad you bring this up because Jess is in the chat. It wasn't like a personal feeling like me and Jesse were confirming with one another. It was palpable. Like people that you didn't know were having the conversation next to you. Like, man, it feels kind of low today, isn't it? Like they don't seem like they're really into it. That was being spoken about all over the stands while we were watching. So that was something where, and it was so noticeable that when they had energetic days, everybody noticed it right away and we were excited about it. But looking back on it now, we shouldn't have been excited. We should have understood that this is a foreshadowing for how the year is going to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because like you see a good day and you're like, okay, this is like Niners of old. This is what I'm used to seeing. This is what it's going to be. And it's like, no, that was this year. That's the exception to the rule. And it's not the rule. The rule is the low energy, undisciplined team like that. You knew that once you said the low energy thing, you're like, this is going to be an undisciplined team and we're going to shoot ourselves in the foot every single game. And lo and behold, that's what happened.
Yeah. I just think that everybody is just a step off. And like I said, I know when I say this, I get blasted because, people will say, Coach, don't shoot him bail. But I'm going to shoot him a little bail. They've played a shit ton of football, man. They, now, you know what? Is it their fault that they didn't recognize what this year was going to be and that they had to focus even more and kind of batten down the hatches and not fuck around with these contracts and get everybody in the building and do it as soon as possible? Yeah, that's their fault. But they have played a lot of football. And honestly, I think that if you look at how we went through the playoffs to get to last year's Super Bowl, you saw the fatigue. You saw it setting in where they had 10 days off before they saw Green Bay. And Green Bay ran through us up and down the field. That's when Aaron Jones had that 50-yard run against us. That was the biggest run that we had given up all season. And you saw it then and you were like, God, we look unprepared, bro. Like, we had 10 days off. Then you saw exactly what Detroit did to us coming into that game. And they tried to turn it on for the Super Bowl, but the offense couldn't fire off. So this year is going to be interesting because, like I said in the other calls before, I do believe that they've got the dead cap money, that the post-June 1 cut that they have to pay for Eric Armstead this year. That's a lump sum of money. I believe they could move on from Debo, take that hit, and then I believe then it would be on and popping. Then it would be this year and next year is going to be horrible. Because if you're going to let go of Debo, you might as well get rid of Juice. You might as well restructure BA. You might as well restructure Trent. You just do it. It's a bad year. You might as well get it all done. Brute force it. Just do it. This is obviously, the pragmatic way about going about it. So they're going to pace it out. But I believe that if they moved on Debo first because of what his dead cap hit would be for releasing him, I believe that other guys will be next. That would be the domino effect, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, if Kyle gets rid of his favorite player, he's going to get rid of other players, right? Like that.
Exactly.
That really shows you, like, hey, like there's nobody's safe. You're all gone if you're not good. So
exactly. Like if Debo goes, nobody's safe, and I think that's what started all. Because not only would that start like the kind of like the relationship side of it is just like all of that shit would be dead, but also the money side of it too. Everybody would be understanding, well, Debo was due to make $28 million this year. If he got let go and shown the door, then you better be looking at having a conversation with restructuring or taking a pay cut, or your ass is out of here too. So I don't know. I don't know if the organization or Kyle has it in him to, birth those type of conversations. But in order for the team to come back to what we know as like being in like legitimate Super Bowl contention, not just saying it, but legitimately, we factually have a team that is a Super Bowl contender. We're not going to be able to say that and it be true for a long time if we don't make some serious moves in the offseason.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you gotta eat some of it. It's
pump and dump Debo, though. I want Debo to have like 55 catches for 8,000 yards against Detroit. We need to find a sucker. We need to get somebody.
Well, good luck. Nobody's taking on Debo unless it's like Yeah, he's just a gadget player now. So like those players, what do they get? Like $4 or $5 million in free agency or whatnot? Like it's not much. You kind of just find a
I mean,
role for him. Like
but this is my thing. We always hear about the relationships between Kyle and his players. When is the relationship between Kyle and Debo going to work for the organization? Meaning that if this is your guy and we paid him because he's your guy, well, your guy is underperforming. So how much of a friend are you? Can you go back to him and keep it real and say, hey, look, bro, we need you to take a pay cut? Like, you think they
nah,
just restructured him and they just gave him a bonus effectively with cash up front. So they really could go to him and say, hey, look, we kind of sweetened the deal for you beginning of the season, albeit you helped us out with a restructure. We gave you hard cash up front. Now do us a favor on the back end. You didn't have the season that we both hoped for. Things happen, but do you honestly believe we're going to pay you 20 some odd $20 million next year?
I think with Debo, like with all the kicking the can down the road and everything, and so now like still has a bunch of money coming to him. Like it that works so hard against being able to employ that strategy because it's like, well, you can take a pay cut to $10 million, or you can stay at $28 million, right? Like who's going to say yes to that? That's too big of a drop. Like
Mm-hmm.
it hurts too much for the player to take that. So you just have to get rid of him. There's no. I don't think that. I don't think, especially with the players that we have restructured a lot, where
Mm-hmm.
all their money's coming later.
Right.
I'm saying this not knowing exactly what they've gotten in their bank account right now, right? But like, uh, what player would go from like, what player would go from like, oh, I'm making $30 million to $6 million for the good of the team? I just don't believe that'll ever happen with anybody. Not even, it's not gonna happen with Fred. Not gonna happen with Debo. Barely happen with Juice, and that's just because he's a fullback, so he knows if he gets cut, there may not be a market for him at all. Just kind of is what it is. Same with Christian, right? Like he's not going to take a pay cut now, even if he does suck after his Achilles injury.
I think he would, because he sucks. If he did, hypothetically, I don't know. I just think that a lot of these conversations are easy to have when the player has the leverage. These guys are getting older. They have to be able to prove that they're the same players, and I believe that we may not see all of these moves within one offseason, but I think that I think next year is they've all given themselves a mulligan. You go to the Super Bowl 2 times, you go to the NFC Championship game 3 times, and you fall off the face of the cliff for for one season after coming from a Super Bowl. They've given themselves a mulligan. So I truthfully believe we may not see much movement, if at all, in the offseason. They may give Kyle one more, hey, this is your year. You had a bad year. You just came out of the Super Bowl. Fix it. Fucking fix it. And if we see another bad year next year, I think that's when we start seeing wholesale changes. But they're just way too slow. The Niners don't move quickly, right? They're not swift. So I just don't see all of these things happening in the matter of months. There's way too many moving parts.
Yeah, that's true. And you can't, like we're kind of in like it's a tricky. If we're keeping Kyle, it's a tricky situation. If we get rid of him, it's really simple. You just cut it and tank. But you can't cut like 8 players and not have that affect your chemistry and what you've built. I say that loosely, but like it'll have a negative impact. There's no doubt about it. If you cut everybody, it'll be uh it's just too disruptive. It'll break any sort of cohesion that you've built. Like you have to
Definitely.
restart that.
All right, buddy.
But
Close me out
wait,
for the Detroit game, man.
all right. First of all, how do you feel about trading back and drafting the Alabama guard? Can't think of his name, but he's like
Booker.
the Booker. Yeah, Tyler Booker.
Yeah, I love Tyler Booker. I trade back and get him immediately.
Yeah,
I'd love to
I
just get the offensive line fixed in right away.
I agree. I don't really like the Texas tackle, and I don't know that much about the LSU tackle Will Campbell. But I
Kev,
do think, yeah, 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 yep. Uh, I do think we could trade
Kelvin
back.
Banks.
Kelvin Banks. That's right. He's all right. I would rather trade back than get him, but I want to sign Drew Dahlman from the Falcons. Is a center. I
Okay.
don't think they can keep him. I think we have probably enough cap to sign one player, and center's not premium, so you might be able to fit it in.
Center, getting a better center will be huge for us. Huge. Close me out with the Detroit game. I'm about to get SGA up.
30. No. Well, we'll do 28-7 Lions.
Yeah. All right, brother.
I think it's over by the third quarter. So there you go.
Yeah, we'll fight hard, but yeah. Hey, man, thank you so much for the call, man. Call back again, man. It's been a while too, man. Hit me up.
Yeah. Peace.
Let's get some super chats out the way. I'm gonna get you up right after this SGA. Let me see. Dave Barclay, what up, coach? Keep doing your thing. Appreciate it. Thank you, Dave. Dave Barclay, has Lyle ever got best player available? Come on, man. Yeah, we do understand that. Serenity 999. Thank you, sis. I'm looking forward to the draft. Will you and Tom do some deep dives into potential picks at key positions? Do you have a plan? Appreciate you. Number one, I can tell you for sure Tom has a plan. That's somebody who I know is eagerly waiting for the draft. I myself need to get a little bit more up to snuff on the draft. There are some guys that I've been looking at earlier in the show. Serenity, we talked about Kelvin Banks Jr. We talked about Wyatt Millam, the tackle out of West Virginia. Kelvin Banks Jr. is the number one rated tackle out of University of Texas. Then we also have Will Campbell, the tackle out of LSU. All three of these guys, they're different. They all kind of are the same. I believe Kelvin is a little bit shorter at 6'4". I like my tackles a little bit taller than that. But yes, we will be getting into the draft. Thank you. Dave Barclay, do you think things like PFF are coach favoritized? Yeah, they are. PFF is weird because we're trash, but look at what PFF has us. It's a mockery. PFF has us 4th rated all offense, tied for 12th rated defense, 13th for special teams, and 7th, tied for 7th overall. PFF is on meth. This is not even a real place. SGA, what's good, baby?
Hey, coach, how you doing this afternoon?
Hey, man. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's Shardal. It's the man with the plan. What's good, baby?
I always love first of all, I love your YouTube channel. I love all your videos, all your content.
Thanks, man.
I really love that you keep it professional on here, bringing a lot of guests on here, hearing a lot of takes on the Niners. I love hearing what people have to say coming on here on this panel.
Mm-hmm.
So as a Niner fan, I know that our season is over. It hurts me to say that we're eliminated from the playoffs. We're not going to make it to the Super Bowl. That's just a sad fact. It's a reality. You know, you have to accept that the fact that you have to accept that that's the fact and how it is, and you can't escape from it because you know what's done in the past is really done in the past. You can't really bring it back. But the Lions game, I think that it's going to be a good matchup. I know it's a garbage game because we're out of the playoffs. So even if we win that game, it really doesn't matter. We're not going to make it into the playoffs, even if we win that final game at home at Levi's. What are your thoughts on the game? Like, you think that we're going to come out strong against the Lions, or bring our A game against Detroit?
Nah, brother. This one's gonna be belt to ass. They gonna sock us. They gonna remember we was kids, the rock'em sock'ems. They gonna beat we're gonna get beat up like high school bullies. We're gonna get the old 3:00 shiner out by the kickball field. That's how we're gonna get beat up. This one's gonna be bad. We're gonna get wedgies. It's gonna be it's gonna be ugly, man. They gonna knock us all over the place, bro. It's gonna be a bad game.
I mean, the 49ers are a great team, but they're not scared of the Lions. They're not scared. They're gonna tell the Lions that I know you're a good football team, but we're gonna find a way to beat you guys. We're gonna find a way to dig you deep in the ground and make you feel even worse than you're already in the playoffs right now. Because they clinched it already. Detroit's already in it already. So they're one of the teams that are already into the playoffs already. So the Lions are not the Niners are not scared of the Lions. They're not scared one single bit. Like they're gonna come out as strong and play as hard as they can and come out with the win.
Chardall, it's not happening, man. I'm sorry.
I mean,
you're my guy too, Chardall. You're my guy.
Fan for life, and I don't like that we're not we're not going to make it to the Super Bowl, and we're not going to win our 6th Lombardi Trophy. I don't like to say that. We're all Niner fans here. This is our Niner family. We all love the Niners. You love the Niners. I love the Niners. That's my team. That's my team.
Chardall, there is no way on God's green earth that we are going to beat the Lions Monday night. It's not. I want to be
optimistic. I'm an optimistic football
fan.
No,
nobody told you that you can't be optimistic. I'm just telling you not to be stupid. You can be optimistic, but to spew false information on Al Gore's internet, it's just not the best course of action. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. It's not ideal. Suboptimal. You see what I'm saying? Like, if we have channels and we're out here being fair, everybody knows that we want to win. But, dude, we got to be honest. There's no way that we're beating the Lions on Monday. It's not happening.
I mean, at the end of the day, as Niner fans, we want to reach the zenith, the final destination, which is the Super Bowl. That is the final destination we want to reach to. And unfortunately, we're not getting to that high point this year. Yeah. Which is a Super Bowl. We're not getting there. It's over. I knew it was going to be over. I knew it. I already knew it beforehand that we weren't going to make it. I knew it. And everyone was saying we're going to make it, and I'm saying, you guys, you got to be optimistic. You got to be hopeful, but don't make all these lies and false claims that we're going to make it. Like, you got to be realistic. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people that I talk to are not that realistic with people. They say things that are false. And I'm like, you guys need to be realistic here. This is a realistic channel. We're Niner fans here.
Well, Chardall, with fans like you, the Niners are always going to be in good shape. I understand your loyalty is something to be admired, but my man, it ain't happening. Tomorrow,
I have a big loyalty to the 49ers. I have all 3 of my Niner jerseys intact still in my room.
But let me ask you one question. What is the Niners' loyalty to you?
The Niners' loyalty to me is that I try and go to all the games at Levi's, and I try and root on the team as much as I can. And sometimes I try and root the team on. Sometimes I root the team on as much as I can, but sometimes it leads to failure. I try.
No. I think you're misunderstanding my question. You said that you're loyal to the Niners. What I'm asking you is, when have the Niners been loyal to you? Not what show me your loyalty to the Niners. Tell me how the Niners have shown you the same loyalty that you have shown them.
So my loyalty that I show to the Niners is that I attend as many games to the arena as possible, and I try and show the team that I care. And even if you win or if you lose, I'm still going to support you either way.
I love you, Chardall. Hey, give me a prediction for the game. I already know you got us winning.
My score prediction for the 49ers versus Lions game is I got the Niners winning 52-7, and I got Brock Purdy throwing for over 400 yards.
I can't.
Touchdowns.
And I was going to let you walk. Chardall, are you trolling me? No, I was going to let you bow out So hold on. Wait a minute.
That's my score prediction.
I was gonna let you be as positive as you could be, bro. I swear to God. And you know what? I tried to lead you to water. And you know what? You evaded me, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just let Shardall roll. I gave you one last chance, dog. One last chance to keep it real. And I say to you, give me the prediction of the Lions game, and you not only have the Niners winning, but you came out of your face and said over 52 points? Here, I'm sorry, bro. I tried to be nice. Bro, fight so hard, bro. But you are pushing the buttons, dog. Chardon, if you don't give me a real freaking prediction, I'm kicking you off. Give me a real prediction. If you say that the Niners are going to win 50 to any, you better not say 50, 5, 4, 50. You better not say nothing with 5th in it. Tell me a real score.
Prediction for the 49ers.
I want a real score.
It's 27-24 49ers.
Okay.
Is that a little bit more realistic?
That helps me out a little bit, Shardall. Thank you, Shardall. You can have him winning, but you're not going to get on my channel and say that the Niners are going to beat the Lions 52 to whatever, and I'm going to keep a straight face, and that shit's just going to be online for people to be like, I can't believe Coach let him say that shit. No.
Am I welcome back on the show after saying
you are welcome? You are always welcome on this platform.
Is that a much realistic prediction than what I said?
Yes, you were making a mockery out of the channel right now with saying that bullshit. Don't do that, Shardall.
I was playing around. That was not my real prediction. My real prediction is 27-24. That's my real prediction, not the other prediction I said.
All right. Hey, Shardall,
I
love you, bro.
On the show? Am I welcome back?
I'm always, man. I'm just fucking with you, bro. You know you my guy. But just Shardall, hey, stay off that stuff, man.
Predictions. I won't be saying 52-7 because that's not a realistic prediction. There's no way we're going to be putting that much points. There are other teams going to come out
Don't try to clean it up now. You already said it. But just look, Shardall, I love you. I'll talk to you.
See you later, Coach. Thanks for having me.
Talk to you, brother. Hey, come on. Hey, call in next time. Call in next time.
I love coming on your show. You're the
Thanks,
GOAT.
brother.
I love you. I love all your content videos. Keep up the good work. Keep slaying it, bro. And I'll come on next time onto your show. See you later, bro.
My guy, Shardall. Killing him. Shardall's a dog. You gotta love Shardall's energy. But there was no way that I was gonna let him say that up here, dog. So look, let's go. Close out some super chats that we're going to get out of here. Dave Barclay, Niner fan for a long time, not winning, not Lyle fan. Exactly. Travis Stewart, Coach, this guy's got to go. Cut this guy delusion. I knew that these were coming. Travis Stewart, 52-7. I know. It was nuts. Dave Barclay, you got to love Shardall, though. Dave Barclay, realistic take. Lyle sucks. I'm a diehard Niner fan, not Jet fan, not Lyle fan. I grew up with Montana and then young as my QBs. I grew up with greatness and always loved the Niners, but not this regime. You know what? I second that. One of the biggest things that I've come away with all of the wins, the losses, the Super Bowl appearances, the NFC championships, all of it, is that they don't want to share this experience with us. That's the biggest thing that I've noticed from this regime. They don't want to share it with us. It's always been their thing. It's never been our thing. And now that they want to lose and their best laid plans are blowing up in their face, I'll be damned if I support this shit. Hey, man, see you guys later on Monday night for the live watch party. It's going to be a banger of a show. Want you guys to come in here. But hey, we got one more super chat. Sarah, the domestic goddess. Thank you, Coach. I agree. Love his energy. Felt the love. Yeah, I love Shardall, man. Shardall's my guy. And I just want you guys to know I love hard. I'm a tough lover. So, guys, I'm not beating up on Shardall, but I'm just that's who I am as a person. Guys, live watch party Monday night. Be there. We got a guy. And it's my dude. Came in at the last second. This dude right here. Hey, You got 2 minutes that we got to get up out of here. My man Kaz, Jello pudding pops. It's your boy Kaz, man. What's going on, baby? How you doing?
I'm peaceful, bro. How you doing today? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's wrong? What's wrong? You in trouble? What you do? Why are we talking like this? What happened?
Nah.
You in trouble? What you do? Why are we talking like this? Your wife about to go upside your head, ain't she? What you do?
Our season is over. Chardale is a little crazy, but I understand a little bit,
Okay.
how we really want our team to still be playing meaningful football.
Mm-hmm.
But in all rationality and honesty, I think
Mm-hmm.
it still can be meaningful football because we can do a little research, see what our young guys look like a little bit more, see what because Brock Purdy has been good even with an offensive line that's non-existent,
Mm-hmm.
and I think he will continue to show people that he's good, minus all of the trimmings. He's our turkey. You know what I'm saying? We gonna ride with him for a while
Okay.
now, and
Yep.
I think we found our franchise quarterback. So again, me and you had this conversation before. I'm just going to reiterate it again to all those that's listening. When we went to the Super Bowl the last time and lost,
Mm-hmm.
the following season we went 6-10. We went on to go to 2 NFC championships, and in the third year we went to a Super Bowl. So
Right.
the point I'm making is we went to the Super Bowl. We had a down season, 6-10, didn't even make the playoffs. The next 3 years was really good 49er football, which made us all proud. Like I said, 2 NFC
Mm-hmm.
championships, a Super Bowl. Everybody knows what I'm saying.
Right.
This was our year after the Super Bowl. We probably need a real off season. And the way we come back next year is going to be so powerful and so important
Expound on
that
that, Cosby. What do you mean by a real off season? Because I think I know what you're saying, but expound on that.
um, first of all, do you think we need some rest?
Mm-hmm.
As a team, like all of these injuries, it just caught up with us.
Mm-hmm.
This was like our first. Remember our first couple of seasons with Cal Shanahan? Everybody got hurt. Everybody got hurt. Everybody got hurt. We
We
had a
were
lot
always
of
hurt.
injuries. Always hurt. Last year we got away from the injury bug. We were kind of touched somehow, some way. We
Well,
didn't get as many
I
injuries.
got to chime in here.
Okay,
Last year,
last year.
not on
Mhm,
last year, we
mhm.
weren't just healthy last year. We were remarkably healthy. Nobody got hurt last year. We like Huff went down early, and then we lost Dre in the Super Bowl. But outside of that, and Eric was in and out with his foot. But outside of that, everybody played. Christian never missed games. Debo
Nobody.
played. Everybody played.
Everybody. Ayuk was showing out.
Yeah, yeah.
Man, but now they get a chance to rest and get healthy from the injuries. I
Mm-hmm.
think that we learned a lot about ourselves. So I got a feeling that they're going to make some really serious changes. Like that center situation, I think they're going to address that. Um, I think our right tackle should be addressed. But those two
It's
things
the
they're
whole
going to
line, bro.
address.
It's everybody. You look at Trent. All right, you can look at left tackle and say age, attrition, and guaranteed money. You can look at right guard and say attrition, talent, and going into free agency. You can look at the center and say age, talent, and we need to get another young guy there. Right guard, you're cool. Right tackle, you could say, hey, not
Yeah.
experienced, definitely not progressing at the rate that you would expect for a guy to have as many games as he has by now. It don't take long to figure out if you got an O lineman or not, flat out. So I'll tell you this: the whole line could get switched out. Right now, the only guy that I would stand on the table for is Dominic Pony. Everybody else could go, in my opinion.
Even Trent.
Even Trent. Yep. Especially for the money.
After the
Because of the
year that
money,
he
though.
had. Well, it's after the year that he had. I mean, I'm going to
Yeah.
be honest with you. We can't pay somebody that kind of money that's going to show up whenever they feel like it.
Yeah. And honestly, I don't think that there's anybody there who's like forcing him to play. To be
check this
honest.
out though. In Trent's defense, he lost two twins, which a lot of us didn't know. He lost one early in the pregnancy. The other one was stillborn. I don't know if you knew that, but he's
No,
been
no,
going
no.
through that.
Listen, there's a reason why, like, when I talk about the guys, I try my best to keep it literally within the lines, because I do know that about what happened to Trent. Look, when life takes over, it takes over, but I'm not gonna not talk about the best options for the organization, right? Because of a guy who's had some off-field things. Like what happened with Trent is it's I've never been through anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, so you got to humble yourself at the door. But at the same time, before all of that, Trent held out for more money in his deal. So just contextually, he's a topic. You know what I mean? But I'm glad that you brought that up because it is hard.
We had so much going on this season that, as you said, expound on what I meant by a real off season. People like Trent, and I'm not sure if the brother if Mooney's gonna be playing with us, but Mooney, he needs the off season. You know what I'm saying? These brothers need to heal from things other than from life.
True.
We got IU. We don't know when he's going to be ready. But my point is, a lot of these guys are going to come back healthy next year, with an enthusiasm, with a ability or a desire to be better than they were, and to prove that they are not washed. Because like Debo, you seen what Debo did against Miami last week, right? See,
yeah, he went off.
Yeah, and I've always been of the thought process that when we had all of our pieces, we end up with a linebacker on Debo who can't check Debo. But right now they're double teaming Debo, and it's not a lot of people that they have to roll to.
Now, Kaz, you in here shooting bail now. Come on, man. Now I was come on, man. See, now we was cool. Look, come on, OG, because I know you coming in. I respect you too.
Listen, what I'm saying is next year is going to be different than this year. That's all I'm saying.
Right, yeah,
and
don't
I'm
get carried away
too much
it's some malfeasance. It's some stuff that should have been handled this year.
You seen Debo last week though. That's all I'm saying. We needed that from him more, but
see, you forcing me.
We'll get that back next week. Next year, I should say.
Kaz, you trying to get me to go there now?
Hey,
Debo said, let's just say Debo had a good game against Miami and leave it at that.
Okay,
let's leave it at that.
But I think we can get that
there's so
forward.
much more that we can talk about than what he's been doing this year outside of that one game.
Right. But I feel like we can get the best out of our team next year after they all get some rest. They all get to re-ground themselves, if that makes sense. You're a player, you know what I mean. Sometimes
I know
you just
exactly what you mean.
Yeah. You just
every year, this is the thing about them is that when you have a team that's as talented as this team, one thing really sucks about that is that you don't get the advantage that every other team gets, is that new car smell, that new team, right? They've been running with the same guys in the same core for quite a while right now. And it's hard for you to be able to come out with a new ethos, a new message, a new direction, trying to go get the same goal every year. It's hard. It's hard to how can I say? It's hard to pretend as if last year didn't happen and go into the next year with a fresh new mindset. Sometimes you do need a season like this year to help you reset everything, for you to come into next year and say, well, we're not a Super Bowl team. That's off of our backs. Nobody's trying to talk to us about chasing a window. That's off of our backs. I mean, really, that stuff weighs on you. It is a lot of stress. It does take up a lot of air in the room when you know that the expectations of what you're supposed to do aren't solely off of what the team looks like this year, but it's from all of the years that have been compounded upon each other that are weighing you down. It's hard. And when you do have tough losses like the Chiefs game, it's important for you to have closure, right? For you to understand why you lost so you can move on in a new direction. I don't think this team has closure. I don't think that they feel like that this is the new 2024 Niners. I think that they think that this is the same 2019 team that they have been running over year after year after year, running it back, trying to get to this goal. And what's really frustrating is that when they lose, they're losing to the same team, but the team that they're losing to, they look different every time.
Every year, yeah, they upgrade.
They upgrade. They change themselves. They reinvent
Kansas City
themselves.
is a different team. Like, I don't know how they've done it, but they're a different team. A complete. Oh man, they shot the hell out of me on Christmas Day.
Mm-hmm. They reinvent themselves, and I think it's high time people start realizing that the Chiefs are not elite in anything but winning. They know how to win. They know how to stay steadfast in a process. They know how to get their identity quick before anybody else in the league gets their identity. They find theirs first. There's only one team that used to do that year in and year out, the Patriots. Every year when Tom was with Bill.
Before we run out of time, do you think it's Robert Saleh? Should we bring him back? I'm just thinking. What do you think, Robert Saleh?
If anything, just for like a culture back in the room. But I don't know if that would be kind of grasping at straws, trying to get an old culture back. Most of the guys that were here when Robert Saleh was there, when most of the guys that were here when Robert Saleh was here are not here anymore.
The wide nine. That's what we run, right?
Yeah. And if we're not going to change it, yeah, fuck it, bring them back. I'm running out of straws.
We're not going to change our defense. We need somebody who can run it like it's supposed to be run and get the most out of the guys that we have. Because for some reason, this defensive coordinator, nothing against him, he's not getting. Yeah.
Well, I will say this: Robert Saleh had a chance to come back, and he spurned us. He went to the Packers. So I don't know, man. If you were thinking about coming back, wouldn't you go back to the organization who you might want to kick the tires on? So I don't know. I think another thing too with the Niners is that we have this preconceived notion that everybody just wants to be here. we talk about guys as if like we just need to put out the request and coaches will show up and players will show up. I don't believe that. I don't think that's true. And I also believe that if we don't get our books together, we're going to start seeing how coaches and players around the league are going to start wanting to stay away from us because they know that there's really no viability here. We're going to start getting more Devondre Campbells. We're going to get more Chase Youngs. Like those guys who we don't recognize and who are not a part of our culture, but they're just wearing the uniform. We're going to get a lot of those guys that are going to start coming in because the Niners are going to have no choice. That's what gets lost when you lose the heart and the culture of a team. It's you kind of open up the floodgates to let anybody in. Now we're truly open for hire. So that's what happens when your core guys. That's what happens when your core guys start going for money and they sell the culture out to the team because there's nobody there. There's no defenders of it now anymore, right? So, hey, right now our identity is on the line. That's the biggest thing that I've seen from this year is that we just don't have an identity and we need to go get one.
So, Coach, are you ever going to actually coach? Work with the kids?
Yeah, look, man, the last time I coached was in 2014. I finished off 4 years at Bowie State. I loved it, but I wasn't making no money, man. Like it's hard coaching on like a D2 level or like a HBCU level. But one thing I will say is that I have a lot of friends who have their little boys. I still have tons of mentees that I did coach. So I'm easy to find. I know my man Mark is watching right now. He's a guy in the chat that I met out here pumping gas. And he from around the area talked to me. Got to get a good look at his son. So we're going to start doing some things with his son. So I'm more ad hoc than I was before being attached to a team. Yeah, I can't really attach myself to like an organization because of my career, man. I've done so much in cybersecurity that I don't have the day-to-day anymore, man. So, but I would love to get back into it. One thing I will tell you is that over the summer, I think Kaz froze. Kaz, you still there, Buzz? Yeah, I think Cosby rolled out. But one thing I will tell you guys is that near the end of the season, in the off season, what I'm gonna start doing is I'm gonna start popping up on some of my old coaches, some of my friends that I have, and we're gonna start doing like some on-site stuff just to, give you guys a little bit of the life of what coach gets into. Yeah. And I got some film that I'm gonna throw up too. I got some film. So I'm gonna throw some film up. We're gonna kind of get into the fingernails of my old coaching career, my old playing career. And we're gonna have a good time with it. Also, yeah, and I see some dudes from my coaching career, they're around here. So some Fayetteville State. Hey, look, Fayetteville State don't pay that well. Stop it. Yeah, this is some old CIAA rivalry right here. This is my boy Frank. And he a Fayetteville State guy, and he knows that I was a Bowie State guy. He loved trying to grind my gears. The money, it ain't enough. Fayetteville State can't pay me. You just want a Bowie guy to get caught on camera saying that he wants to be with Fayetteville State. Stop it, Frank. Stop it. It ain't gonna happen. You better call next week, Frank. I'm over it. Hey, guys. As we said, let's just close out today's call-in show. Today's call-in show was amazing. I love talking to you guys, man. I really do get a boost, an energy boost from talking to the fans, from being connected to our culture. We've created a culture here, and it really does. It just carries me out for the rest of the week. I really do rely on these shows. So, guys, it was a great show. I will be back Monday night. Okay, I'll be back Monday night for the live watch show party, and it's going to be a good one because this is going to be one where you're really going to have to try your best to be positive. But guys, it's your boy, the coach, at the Coaches Huddle, where the field meets family, and family we have just talked. Also, guys, Happy New Year. Pre-Happy New Year's. Man, all of you guys, this year, man, y'all gonna get me caught up. This year was amazing. Honestly, man. But this year, guys, was a phenomenal year for me. Just so many lessons that I've learned. And one of the number one things that has happened to me in my life this year is being connected to all of you guys. So I just want to thank every last one of you guys for being here, for promoting the channel, for following the channel, guys, we had 16K, bro. Like, I would have never thought that the channel would do this ever. I mean, I'm blessed, and I truly am grateful. This has been a year that has been far beyond my expectations. But Monday night, live watch show party. We're going to bring the noise. It's your boy, the coach. Stay low and keep your feet moving. I'll talk to you guys.